Thank you, Mr. Chairman. You know, over and over, I hear the same question from people back home. Why in the heck am I paying for insurance if it actually doesn't cover anything? And this is across all plans and companies. So to be clear, I'm not just talking about the Obamacare, which has dominated much of the conversation today. Only 20 million people are covered there. But what I'm talking about are the 160 million Americans who get their coverage through employer-sponsored insurance. And that's where so many of the affordability challenges are showing up every single day. And these families are rarely talked about. They haven't been talked about much today. And so I want to address their concerns that they have sent to me across social media, emails, text messages, thousands and thousands of messages we have collected over the last 72 hours. And there is a very troubling theme. One, they think that you guys showing up here today will change nothing. So on behalf of the thousands and thousands, hell, millions of Americans, please take this hearing as a moment in time when you need to change direction. I'm gonna make this very simple for people watching back home. I'm gonna ask a series of questions, and if this statement applies to your company, please raise your hand. So if your executive compensation at your company, including yours, is primarily tied to financial performance like revenue, margins, earnings, or stock price, please raise your hand. Don't be shy. Okay, I see 3 out of 4, 3 out of 5. Okay. Raise your hand if your compensation is directly tied to patient health outcomes, such as preventing harm from delays, reducing inappropriate denials, or ensuring access to care. The majority of your compensation is tied directly to patient outcome. I'm going to submit for the record right now a request that you, in writing, give us the fine print of your contracts displaying where patient outcome is directly tied to your executive compensation. Raise your hand if an executive at your company takes a financial penalty when a patient is harmed due to an insurer-caused delay or wrongful denial. Okay. No hands. So no one at the company bears any responsibility for denial of care or patient outcomes. Raise your hand if an overturned denial or appeal negatively impacts executive compensation at your company. Not one. That right there is the problem. When denials and delays and appeals, which happen every single day, occur, the patient and their families are the ones that get hurt, not your bottom line. I also heard very briefly from our colleague that HSAs currently cannot pay premiums for plans. Good news is that there's legislation called the Access Act, which would allow for HSAs to expand and use that subsidy to pay for those premiums. So I look forward to working with her on this legislation. I see my time has expired. With that, I yield.